Hey everyone, it's Chris here from Everyday Survival Gear, and today I'll bring you the review of the Brinyte S18. It's basically a all-in-one hunting light. My one came with the accessories and everything, so you get the charger, and it also came with a Cree XPE-R5 in red and in green, so it is like a really good hunting light. I'll show you guys now. Let's get the review started. Alright guys, so in front of me we've got the Brinyte S18. So you can see it is a fairly large light. It is what it is. I reckon it's a pretty cool looking light, and it's very versatile and functional. Basically Brinyte sent me the whole kit, so I'll run through what it came with. You get the lanyard. It's meant to come with two Brinyte 18650s, but Hong Kong Post took mine, so yeah, it's too late for that. It comes with instructions, which I somehow lost, and I never lose anything, so I do not know what happened to them. But on the way here, the box was like so smashed that, yeah, I don't know, just like because they held it up at customs so many times, maybe it was kind of like mishandled. So yeah, you get an 18650 charger. They gave me a AC to DC power adapter, which is an Australian plug. Also, you get the car adapter part. So I'll move those out of the way. And you get these. That is I can't even see what color that is. I've got to look at it first. Well, that's pretty easy because that one's green and that one's red. So these are extra pills. This color is green. This is a green XPE-R5 in green. And this is a XPE, I think it's a R5 in red. Let me double check, I wrote it down. Yeah, XPE-R5. So that one's green and that one's red. And it comes with the insulators and the that's for the reflector, so it sits in place properly. So basically it comes as a kit. So it's made for hunting. So you get the Cree XML2-U4, and you get these two Cree R5 LEDs also. Alright, so now we'll run over specs. I'm pretty sure you can buy it as just a normal Brinyte S18 if you don't want the green and the red LED. So I'll leave all the links in the description in case you want to check it out. So basically, it comes with stock a Cree XML2-U4. So it's pretty good that they use a U4 because it is the top bin. The S18 is good for around about 1000 lumens and 500 meters of throw. I don't actually have any Candela numbers yet, so I'll have to test that tonight, and then I'll leave that in the video somewhere around about here. So they say 500 meters, but to be honest, I'm pretty sure the reflector is massive. It does throw more than 500 meters. And that 1000 lumens is pretty much, basically, that's the least that you'll get out of this. I've tested this to 1100 lumens on fresh batteries, because it is running two 18650s. It is running a buck driver, so it might be supplying a little bit over 3 amps, which gives you that extra bit of output. And also the LED is on a copper MCPB with direct thermal path, so that also helps bring out a little bit extra output. The weight is 316 grams. That's without the two 18650s. So basically, I should run over all the specs first. The head is 57 mils. So you can see it is a pretty big head, 57 mils. The body is 24 mils at the smallest point, and the length is 242 millimeters, so 24.2 centimeters. It's made out of aircraft grade aluminium alloy and hard anodizing type 3. It's got an IP68 rating, so waterproof to under 2 meters. That's actually pretty good, because if it's going to go hunting with you, you do kind of want to make sure that it is waterproof. Impact resistant to 1 meter, which is pretty much basically like what you would expect. I think it could actually do better than the 1 meter that they're rating. I'll show you why after when I take it apart. Working voltage is from 5.5 to 13 volts. What else did I have to tell you guys? So basically, you already know it runs on two 18650s. Max runtime on low mode is 20 hours with two 18650s. So it's got 5 modes. Unfortunately, you can't really change those 5 modes. They are what it is. They are what it are. No, they are what it is. It is what it is. So basically, it uses a forward clicky. So you got to like click on, kind of. You can either change modes by going like, you know, clicking on, then off, and then on. Or while it's off, you can change modes like cycle. So that's low mode. Low mode is 100 lumens for 20 hours. Then we got medium mode, 500 lumens for 4 hours. Then we got high mode, 1000 lumens for 2 hours. Then we got a strobe mode, which is actually at 1000 lumens, even though Brinyte don't write down what it is. Then we got a SOS mode, which is also at 1000 lumens, but I wouldn't have a clue about the runtime there. Alright guys, I'll talk about the build quality for a minute now. So it is a really very well built light. That is typical of Brinyte. It's got no AR coated glass. Basically, because if you put AR coated glass and then you use a red or green LED, it's kind of going to affect the output on those. My only qualm with this light is the reflector has a little machining mark right there, which you can see. That isn't such a big problem, but we're going to pull this apart in a minute anyway. So as I said at the start, I really like the way that the light looks. This knurling feels really good here and offers a lot of grip. So this is like square knurling. I guess you could call it like pineapple style knurling. The head itself is pretty big at 57 mils. So you could actually de-dome the stock XML2-U4 and get, I reckon, around about 100 KCD stock. Maybe even more, maybe even 120, 140 KCD stock without changing the output of the driver. At the back here, you can see it does have, it kind of looks like hieroglyphics, but yeah. It's also got these little marks here. They're a little bit sharp, but not that sharp. But I guess they can be used for a hunting purpose, I guess. So the whole light, seeing that it's so big, it can be used as a weapon. So these the front bezel here is not sharp, but the back tail cap, this part is sharp. So that could be used as a weapon, or you could also use the whole torch as a weapon and whack someone over the head, which I do not recommend, but you could if you wanted to. So we'll pull it apart now. The threads are very well cut. They are kind of thin, but they're still really well cut. You can see the way that the tail cap's made. Very sturdy, the design. I've just got standard Sanyo cells in here that I got from a laptop pool. So we'll pull apart the head now. Basically, if you buy this, you're kind of buying it as a hunting light. You might also buy it just as a normal flashlight, because it does have a very good output and the beam profile is actually pretty awesome. I'll show you guys what I mean when we take it outside later. But basically, to change the emitters, it's fairly simple. So you undo the head, put the head there, and that's the Cree XML2 there. We'll take out the gasket there. So as I said before, it is on a copper board. I don't know how well you guys can see, but I kind of don't want to pull it out because then I'm going to ruin the heat sinking. I won't do it. It's not that hard to get undone. I just done my last one up tight. So there it is. This is the driver side. That's the Cree XML2-U4. I'll show you guys why I think it'll be better at a drop resistance than what they're saying. So the driver comes out like so. And this gasket is, what do they call it, nylon? Is it nylon? It's like a nylon washer that they threaded. So that's cool. Because the driver's loose, there's not really much chance of anything breaking on the driver, because the driver's got a bit of pull from the front and the back, so it moves around like so. So let's just say if you shoot, like, what's going to go wrong when the driver can move around like so? So that's a pretty good feature that I found that Brinyte does on their torches. We'll put this back together now. Super simple to take apart and change the pills. And little additions like this make the light very user friendly. So with this gasket on, it's basically it's electrically isolating the LED. So there's pretty much no way right now that you could short circuit that LED by connecting the reflector, which is pretty good. It makes life easier, even if you're not a flashlight enthusiast, even if you're just a normal person, like that makes life a lot easier. But if you are into torches, that is a pretty cool feature, because that is usually where a torch does go wrong when you build it. So in front of us we have the green Cree XPE-R5. These XPEs are very, very small die LEDs. So if I compare the die size, look at the difference in the size. And that's why these R5s are really, really good at throw. This is also on a copper board. You can see there the board's copper. I don't know how well you guys can see. I'll take out one of the boards actually. Got a metal shaving stuck on this. Screwdriver. So you can see there the board is copper. So that'll also help with heat. Yeah, so I noticed when I done the AutoPro B158, which is actually a Brinyte light, that was on a copper board too. That board was actually a little bit thinner than this board. Although this board isn't that thick, seeing that it is I think it's a 20mm board. I don't have anything here to measure it, but it pretty much looks like a 20mm board. Heat dissipation will be really, really good. I'm just going to tie this back down and I'll tell you the specs while I'm here. So this is a Cree XPE-R5 in green. This driver that comes in these pills only has one mode, so you only get high mode, which is 200 lumens, which should last at 3 amps, at 1 amp for 200 lumens. So that should last about 5 to 6 hours depending on what 18650s you use. So you know you're drawing 1 amp an hour, so that's pretty good runtime and decent output. It's not too bad overall. And I just dropped it like a goof. So yeah. So that's the green, that's the clear. Now we'll show you through the red. It's pretty much exactly the same, just red. My fingers are greasy from the grease that they put on this. Alright, so this is the red one here. You can see the red does have a red dye, which looks pretty cool. It says Cree R5. Also on a copper board, which is also great. Also only a single mode driver, which is fine. Like you don't really need low mode and everything. So this is a Cree XPE-R5 in red. It's good for 150 lumens. And they also say to about 200 lumens, but I'll try and test that myself. I'm not sure if actually the sensor or my lux meter will pick up red, but we'll find out. And it should be good for about 5 to 6 hours of output. Now, I haven't actually taken one of these apart to have a look at the driver, so we'll do it here. But obviously, it's going to have to be a buck driver, also just single mode. Could even be the same driver, just underdriven as the other one. This one's a little bit harder to get out. I got it. Sweet. Sounds like my bloody shed's gonna blow away, right? Okay. Well, I can't see what driver that is unless I unsolder the LEDs. But like once again, you know, you can see that the driver is connected to a partition board, so it's pretty sweet for shooting purposes. It looks like an Nange or something, but I could be wrong. Maybe I can flip it around inside here. No, I don't think I can. It does look like a Nange from the back, but I'm not sure. Actually, because it's got to be a no, it wouldn't be a Nange because it's a buck driver, right? So yeah. Well, they could have Xena dioed it, but no, I doubt it. So pretty much custom drivers all around. So yeah, the B158 actually does come with a Nange driver in there. So we'll assemble this light again. I'll throw in the, should we throw in red or green? I'll throw in green. So that's how you change the pill. Easy as, right? I actually want to show you guys one more thing. So the head is quite massive, as you can see. So we'll pull apart the head. And the reflector is a pretty decent size. Not huge, but not small by any means. So that's the machining mark there. It's a little bit disappointing, but I don't think it's going to affect performance by that much. It kind of looks like maybe the lathe was getting a little bit blunt or something. But yeah, overall, it's actually very clean and a very good job on the reflector itself. So as I said before, the glass is not AR coated. With the head being so massive, heat dissipation is really good on this light. It doesn't get warm at all. Where did I put those little things? Alright, let's try that one more time. I stuffed it up the first time myself. So here we go. That sits on like so. Don't do that, because I got grease on my fingers. You got to make sure that it's the right way around and then push it down. Then we put on the insulation disc. Then we connect the head. Whoops. Don't do that either. That was just my fault there. And then if we look from the top, we'll see it's pretty much a line straight. And that O-ring just came out of there because I didn't tighten the reflector the whole way. So we'll just put that back in place. That's back in place now. And the head is on. The LED kind of looks a little bit out of alignment, but you can do a professional job as I will do at home. And just tap it like so. And then break the driver. Then we connect the body. Flip it around, so we put the batteries in. Connect her up. And we try it and make sure there's no short circuiting. Touch wood. Alright, so one mode. Green. Very bright actually. Very bright. So only one mode, you can see it's not really changing output as such. So yeah. I think that's pretty much done. I don't really have anything to compare size to, if you know what I mean. So I do have a few other lights. I could actually bring out like an L2 or a C8 or something. I might go grab another light like that. Alright lads, now we're outside with the Brinyte S18. I've just got the standard pilling XML2-U4 here. This is on low mode, 100 lumens for about 20 hours, so there is quite a lot of runtime. And I had a coffee, so my stuttering should be down a little bit compared to before. I just retested this while I was sitting in the shed, considering I came out here in the cold and wind to do a candela rating. And this light is actually a lot brighter than what I thought it was. We'll switch up next to medium mode. So we've got to go off and then on. So this is medium mode on the Brinyte S18. 500 lumens. I can't actually remember the runtime. 500 lumens would be 4 hours actually, because yeah, that's just the maths I think. So you can see it is a fairly throwy beam. If we go to the tree at 100 meters, it'll get there easy even on this mode. So you can see lots of the tree very easy. So next up we'll switch to high mode. So this is high mode, rated at 1000 lumens by Brinyte, rated 1100 by me, but I did get over 1200 just then lumens. So you can see it is very bright if I put the light down. you can see how bright it is. And the amazing fact is, because it's using a buck driver, the output is so linear. Like, I left this on for over a minute measuring, and the output hardly budges. That's how good it is. That's why people love buck drivers, because you get so much power for so long. I did measure the candela myself. I got 56,500 candela. I'm not sure what that is in meters, but yeah, it's not actually not a bad effort. Considering it's using our XML2-U4, that's a pretty good effort, I would say. So obviously, if we go to 100 meters now, it'll get there easy. So you can see it lights up the tree like daytime. Very, very easy. Lights up my backyard. Very, very easy also. And the next two modes are only strobe and SOS. Before we compare this to any other lights, I would like to put in the red and the green and show you guys how bright they are. I was going to do the candela rating on those, but then I figured there's no point, because you're not going to use those settings too far away anyway. And plus, I'm not sure if the sensor's picking it up properly, so they were measuring a little bit funny. I freaking love how bright this thing is, but I wish it would get a little bit warmer because my hands are freezing. Alright, enough dicking around. I'll go grab the pills and change it out. Alright guys, now we've got the red Cree XPE-R5 in. Brinyte rate this at 150 lumens for the red, and the green is 200 lumens, oddly. And they've got a blue too. I don't know what you'd be using, or I guess blue is UV, but I don't think that it would be UV, which is only like 60 or 80 lumens. They rate this to 200 meters throw, so let's see if it can hit the tree. It does, it hits the tree. How funny is that? And that's at 100 meters too, and it hits it. Although not the best, it's not actually that bad. To be honest, like, this is awesome output. This is like super bright. Like, it's lighting up my whole backyard, as you guys can see. But if you were out hunting and it was like pretty late at night and you did want to use your red your red pill, so choose the blue or the red pill. So if you did want to use your red pill for hunting purposes, it might be a little bit too throwy. Maybe you might have to put something over the lens. But yeah, they reckon it's only running like 1 amp, so it's not getting any, warm. But I don't know, it appears a lot brighter than 150 lumens to me, but no, I'm not sure. Let's check out what we can see on the floor. Look at that reflecting, it's so damn bright. Can we see anything on the floor here? Nah. It's cool. I think I'm going to have to take these out somewhere a little bit bigger and try them, because this light is really bright. Alright, I'm going to go change the pill to the green and I'll be back in a jiffy. Alright guys, now we've got the green pill on. Same sort of go. Cree XPE-R5 but in green. I kind of prefer the red actually. I'm honestly not sure what green's used for, because I don't own any green, well now I do, but I don't really own any green LEDs. I can understand the UV and I can understand the red, because the red isn't actually that bad on your eyes. But yeah, so 200 lumens, supposed to be rated higher than the red, but I don't know, they both pretty much seem the same to me, both to 200 meters. So we'll try it to the tree. Get to the tree very easy, but I think the red one was a little bit easier to see. Yeah, so I guess this isn't like quite as harsh on your eyes, and so you get like pretty good output. And if you were to use something like NCR 18650Bs, because this doesn't take up that much current anyway, you know, you're only running about 3 odd amps, maybe 3.5 amps max, you know, you'll get like maybe up to 7 hours of runtime with these LEDs. So, you know, when you're out hunting in the field, you know, you don't want to be fumbling around changing batteries, and that's a pretty good runtime there. So Brinyte, they let me choose like what light that I wanted, and I chose this double celled light pretty much for that reason, because I know, you know, I can put 2 standard cells in that have high milliamp hours, and you know, I'll get runtime for years with good output. That's what I like about this light. and plus, you know, the reflector is pretty huge. I might dedome the XML2-U4 and update a video on that. Alright guys, if you're still here, now we've got some comparisons. So on right now, I've got my, what is this even called? Jet beam, I forgot what it's called. Seriously. BC40. So if you don't know this light, I brought this light in 2011, but it's kind of the same setup in a sense that it's only using a Cree XML because the XML2 wasn't even out then, but it runs onto 18650s and it's got a fairly big SMO reflector, so I thought it'd be pretty cool to bring it out. So yeah, this was one of my older lights, I guess. That's on to the right. And to the left is the Brinyte S18. So you can see the Brinyte is obviously a lot brighter. The BC40 is only rated to 840 lumens anyway, so yeah, the Brinyte's definitely going to be a lot brighter. Alright, next up I'll grab the Thorfire and we will compare those two and see how they go. Alright guys, so to the left is the Brinyte S18 and to the right is a Thorfire. What's this thing? The TK42, right? Yeah, TK42. I kind of forgotten their names. So if you put them side by side, in my ceiling bounce test, they actually compare fairly close. I think the Thorfire should probably be a little bit brighter, at least at startup, because I measure that thing at about 1300 lumens, but the Brinyte is no slouch next to it. So Brinyte left and Thorfire right. Is that even on the highest mode? Yep. But different beam patterns, but once again the Thorfire uses a pretty big SMO reflector with Cree XPE-R5 this time, so I figured I'll bring it out and see how they do against each other. And they're both pretty much like consumer grade flashlights. Alright, I don't know what I got next. I've actually got a modded Eagle Eye X6 that uses Cree XML2, so we'll compare those two. Alright guys, this is the Eagle Eye X6 with a Cree XML2 running direct drive, you know, the usual copper board and spring bypasses back and front. You can see it's fairly bright, also it's a fairly neutral white tint. And to the right is the Brinyte S18. So, you know, side by side, this Brinyte keeps on making me think that's not even on the highest mode, eh? That's how bright it is. So I'm not sure if the Brinyte, if the beam is just tricking me because it's a really good beam pattern, a good mix between throw and spill or whatnot. But also I think the battery might be starting to get a bit flat in this X6 because it's not even getting that warm. Just to compare it to one more light, even though this video is running really late, I got a done up C8 here and we'll see how these two do against each other. Alright guys, so this is the done up C8. I think this one would be the XPE-R that's dedomed. So pretty good beam pattern, pretty similar, a little bit more throwy. And the Brinyte S18 to the left and the Convoy C8 dedomed XPE-R to the right. That's actually pretty cool. So the hotspots are a little bit different in size obviously, but not too much difference. The beam patterns are fairly similar. The Brinyte's just a little bit more floody. Alright guys, so that's the review of the Brinyte S18 done. So I hope you enjoyed it. A little bit of work went into it actually. I've been outside now for over an hour and I was outside for 2 hours before. So I hope you at least enjoyed it. I know I started a bit, sorry about that, but it's been a bit tired. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the video and like and subscribe, and thanks for watching.